Hey, and welcome back to the Business Hyve Podcast. I'm your host, Jess, here to spark actionable strategies and real breakthroughs that unleash your business's potential. Today, we're talking about a problem that's quietly draining your revenue and making you think your marketing isn't working. Your leads aren't converting. It's frustrating, right? You're doing the work, you're running the ads, you're posting on social, you're building out your email list. But when it comes to actually closing that sale, you are not able to do it. And I see this all the time. The truth is, most business owners assume that the problem is one of two things. Either they think that they just need more leads, or they assume that their offer isn't good enough. And usually, neither is the case. The problem is the way you're managing and nurturing those leads is broken. And today, I'm going to break down exactly why your leads aren't converting and what you can do about it, starting right this minute. So let's go ahead and get into it. There are four brutal truths behind why your leads aren't converting. And I'm not here to sugarcoat things. You know me better than that. Number one, you're attracting the wrong leads in the first place. This one stings, but it's reality. If you're struggling with conversion, you may not need more leads. The problem may be that you need better, more quality leads. If the people entering your funnel were actually a good fit, they'd be converting. So, where's the disconnect then? It could be in one of three different places. Your messaging is unclear and it's pulling in everyone instead of the actual customers you want. It could be that your audience isn't aligned with what your audience actually wants or needs, or at least you're not communicating the benefits of your offer well enough. Or it could be that your lead magnet or your freebies are attracting people who just want free stuff and they never had any intention of buying. This is the one that I see most often. Many people just want free stuff, especially if they don't see the value in the solution to their problem. So, what's the fix? You need to tighten up your lead qualification process. This means that you need to refine your messaging so that it speaks directly to the people who need your offer and repels everyone else. Okay. So as you're writing your messaging, you want to be specific. You want to talk directly to who it is that actually needs what you're offering. If you have qualifiers, meaning you are a higher end service or product, you need to make mention of that. You need to make mention that this product, this service is not for people with smaller budgets. That's how you refine that messaging. And that's how you ensure that you are not accepting everybody into your fold. You want to align your lead magnets with your paid offers. So if they download your free guide, it naturally and seamlessly leads them to wanting your product or service. And then you want to use pre qualifying steps like an application or a quiz or a pricing transparency assessment. This is going to weed out people who aren't serious about purchasing from you in the first place. Number two, you're not nurturing your leads correctly. This is where most business owners drop the ball. They assume that as soon as someone joins their email list or follows them on social media, they're immediately ready to buy. And that's not the case. Here's the thing, most leads aren't hot when they enter your ecosystem. When you have a freebie or you want somebody to sign up and just talk to you, they are not always going to be hot. If you're not nurturing your leads, you're relying on what I like to call hope marketing. You hope they'll remember you when they're ready to buy. You hope they see value in what you offer. You hope that your message stands out from the rest. Spoiler alert, that's not going to be the case. So here's how you actually nurture your leads. You stop sending sales emails. I know that sounds crazy, but if every email you send is buy, 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 people are going to ignore you. Instead, I want you to focus on providing value, showcasing why you're the one. Why are you the best in your industry? I know there are people out there right now in my industry that's telling you that you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Okay, don't prove yourself and continue to not have leads. That's on you. I'm telling you that if you want people to trust you with their money, with their health, with their business, with their mindset, with whatever it is you do, you need to provide value up front. Tell stories, make them feel like they're learning something from you. You also need to be consistent. If your follow up game is weak, AKA you send one email and then disappear from them, it's no wonder people aren't converting. They forgot you existed. Your follow ups have to be consistent. You want to put people in a nurturing sequence, and you want that nurturing sequence to be long enough that you are able to build that relationship with them, not just the one time wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And additionally, you want to use automation that's behavior based. If someone clicks on a link in your email, then send them a follow up about that specific topic. If they visit your pricing page but don't buy, send them a case study or some kind of testimonial to help build trust. You have to be proactive. You have to use the data that you have on this individual and personalize your messaging. Connect with them. Personalization connects. Generalization pushes people away. The goal is to keep your brand top of mind so that when they are ready to buy, you are the only obvious choice. The next thing is your offer positioning is off. Sometimes it's not about the offer itself, but how you're presenting the offer. If people aren't buying, it's not always because they don't want what you're selling, but they may not see the value clearly enough. One of the common mistakes that I see is too much focus on features instead of outcomes. No one cares about how many modules your course has or how many calls your coaching package includes. They care about the transformation that you are promising them. What can you do for me? I said this a few weeks ago. I said these people are not focused on you. They do not care that you lost 60 pounds. They want to know, can you help them lose 60 pounds? What the little boy on social media said, worry about yourself, sweetheart. Worry about yourself, sweetheart. Another common mistake I see is not addressing objections. So if your folks are not converting, then that means something's stopping them. There's a stoppage there somewhere. Is it price? Is it time commitment? Are they afraid that it's not going to work for them? You need to identify what these objections are and handle them up front. If you don't handle objections up front, folks will walk away. And then the third mistake that I see very often is that your pricing strategy is scaring people away. The fact of the matter is, sometimes low ticket offers attract low commitment people. But on the flip side, high ticket pricing without social proof, without proof that you know what you're doing, without proof that they're not going to just be wasting money, that creates skepticism. So you want to always test out your positioning and your pricing to make sure that you're in the right spot for what you offer. And then the last harsh truth that I have for you is that you're not closing the sale properly. You might have everything else dialed in, but if you're not actively closing the sale, your conversion rates are going to be low. So, are you asking for the sale directly? A lot of people, they like to dance around that pitch because they're afraid of coming off as too salesy. There's a fear mechanism there, especially I find this most often with women. Women don't want to come across as salesy. They do not like sales. Newsflash, all of your customers, they need clear direction on what to do next. So while you don't want to come across as salesy, you do need to provide the next steps for folks. And if the next step is to work with you, it's okay to say, hey, you've downloaded this and you've attended my webinars, but you still are having this here problem. Here's what I suggest. You need to sign up for my program. You need to purchase my software. You need to do this thing. Also, do you have a deadline or are you using urgency? If there's no reason for someone to buy right now, they're going to procrastinate. Scarcity and urgency, when done ethically, can push hesitant buyers to take action. Now, I said when done ethically because it's imperative that whatever you put out there, it's not just some random, oh my God, this program or this product is closing. If the product or program is not closing, don't say that. If you're going to do a price increase soon, you can say that. If this is a limited time special bundle, you can say that. Those are great ways to increase your sales through deadlines or urgency. And then last, are you handling follow-ups properly? A shocking amount of deals are lost simply because people don't follow up. You've heard me talk about a company I've worked for in the past that left millions. They left millions of dollars on the table because they simply did not follow up with the customers. If you're not following up consistently and regularly, multiple times, you're leaving money on the table. Now, I am not saying to bombard people with emails daily for the next 6 months. That's crazy. That's craziness. Don't do that. But a strong, thought out, personalized nurture sequence to a segment of your list can work wonders on your conversion rate. So, what can you do today? You know, I'm all about what you can do right here in the moment. Here's your action plan. You ready? Okay. Number one, you're going to audit your lead sources. You know, I'm here for a good audit. Okay. We're always going to look at what we're doing before we make changes. Are they actually bringing in high quality leads, or are they just a bunch of people who are never going to buy from you? And I want you to look at all of your lead sources. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about search engine optimization. I'm talking about your content. I'm talking about old clients that are referring people to you. Then I want you to map out your nurture sequence. If someone enters your world today, what happens next? If the answer is nothing, that right there is your problem. What is the nurture sequence going to be? Once they enter, once they contact you, once they give you that email address, how are you going to get them across the finish line? Third, I want you to refine your offer positioning. So go through your sales page, go through your sales email, go through your social media content. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the transformation, or are you just listing out a bunch of features? Well, you get 3 calls with me, and or oh, you get access to the platform. What transformation can I expect after I've made this purchase? After you've made this purchase, you can expect fill in the blank. And then the last step in your action plan is improve your sales process. And I want you to do this by being intentional about that follow up. How are you following up with people? Are you following up with people? What are you saying that's driving that lead through the process to becoming a closed sale? How are you handling objections? People are saying, oh, your pricing is too high, or oh my goodness, I don't know if this is going to work for me. How do you handle those objections? And then be specifically intentional about closing that deal. I know you don't want to ask for the sale, it feels uncomfortable, but you're in business and your comfort level should no longer be taken into consideration. Being in business is uncomfortable. That is the reason why, at the end of each one of these podcasts, I say to you, do it afraid. We do not have time. We do not have space. We do not have capacity for fear. Fear is not even real. You need to do what is necessary for you to close the sale, because closing the sale is how you feed your family. All right, let's recap. If your leads aren't converting, the problem is not that you need more of them, it's that you need better leads. Lead nurturing is everything. Okay, it is everything to your business. And if you're not staying top of mind, you are losing these potential buyers. Because while your offer may be great, your positioning can be so weak that people won't see the value. And of course, closing the sale is an active process. If you're waiting for people to magically buy, you're going to be disappointed and broke. Now, I challenge you to pick one of these areas and take action on it today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next quarter when you review your metrics. I want you to take action today. Folks, that's it for this episode of the Business Hive. Thank you so much for listening. And until next week, stay curious, stay consistent, and I'm going to need y'all to say this with me. Do it afraid. Exactly. See y'all.